Namaste. Greetings on this day of the Sunday, December 17th, 2017, or so they say it is. But wanted to do a quick chat about altars. And if you just give me 1 second, well, I'll make sure this is set up right. Altars. Okay, so of course you can ask questions while this broadcast is airing, and I'll do my best to answer your questions live. So, altars, are they a necessary requirement to practice, pretty much, for magical practice? And my answer to that is an altar is your own personal universe. It is a microcosm of the macrocosm, if that makes any kind of sense. The whole premise behind an altar is for you to set up a space so that you can communicate with the deities, the universe, what have you. Like I said, microcosm of the macrocosm. So this is why the elements are represented in your magical altar. Normally, the ingredients for an altar is you have a flat surface, pretty much. I mean, hell, an altar can be anything. It can be a desk, it can be a picnic table, it can be the ground outside. So as long as you create that microcosm. That's why candles, I would say, are a necessary tool for you to use on your altar. A candle, or candles, have all 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So you might want to have symbols, or things that help you attune magically to the universe. You can have pictures of your ancestors, or pictures of the deities that you're calling. Use whatever you have in the beginning until you can set up and have multiple altars. Just use what you have. A cardboard box, for instance, is something that you can use. Your nightstand, that's something that it can be used. But an altar, like I said, helps you in the beginning. I know many occultists who no longer use altars, I should say. They use their own mind. Or what they'll do, certain powerful occultists, is create an altar space within their mind and do magic astrally, or do magic in the imagination. See what I'm saying? So I knew a couple of occultists who do this. But in the beginning, use what you have. You're not going to have 5 altars right away. You're not going to have multiple altars right away. If you're first starting out, use whatever you can use. I know certain people use their dressers. I know certain people who use closet space to set up their altars, and use a shelf, and that's their altars. You got to remember, the power of prayer is very, very important. People tend to come into the occult and dismiss the power of prayer when that's just not the case. Although you're not praying to someone else. You're not praying to anything outside yourself. You're praying to your higher self. And that is, hey, how you doing? If I'm saying this wrong, please correct me. Nataru hair. That's the way it looks anyway. If it is not intentional if I mispronounce your name. So thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I'm sitting up here and I'm talking about altars. You know, I have several, but I start off with one. Some people think that multiple altars are necessary when they're not. You can use one altar to get your point across magically. And some people have this idea that they shouldn't mix energies, but if you only have space for one altar and have the word I'm trying to say is a general altar for everything, then so be it. You know, there's no oh, this deity is going to get mad, or this deity is going to get mad because you're mixing their energies. No. They don't care about that. They don't care about the human perception of things. So if you have to use I don't know, the word I'm trying to say is a one size fits all kind of thing, then so be it. Now, I'm opening the floor up for questions if you have them. Let's see what I have here. Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Okay. All right. To start off, I advise that you start off with an ancestors ritual. If you have not ever done a ritual before, then start off with an ancestor ritual. Find me on Facebook. I have a general ancestor ritual that you can begin with. And this ritual you can do for like 7 days and honor your ancestor, because remember, your ancestors are the gateway for you to reach out to other deities and beings. Lisa Turtle, hey, how do you feel about personal altars? When you say personal altars, just clarify that for me. When you say a personal, do you mean like your own personal altar? Oh yeah, that's fine. A small altar space honoring yourself, absolutely. You can't dismiss yourself. You got to realize that all the magic comes from within. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but it comes from you. So yeah, honor yourself. It's not being egotistical or anything like that. But like I said previously, an ancestor or a ritual will help you start to build up your energy and your vibrations and allow you to not only acknowledge them, but you honor them, you praise them, but you're not worshiping them. You're acknowledging them. So, yeah. I do have several altars. I have one in my altar space where you can add herbs. I say symbols, you can add pictures, candles, of course, certain stones like the amethyst. This is a chevron amethyst because this amethyst actually combines amethyst with quartz. See that the whiteness there? That is quartz also. They're fused together. You know, this is one of my favorite stones. It's a very spiritual stone. No problem, Lisa. No problem at all. That's what I'm here for. If anyone have any other questions, then feel free to put them in the chat box here. You know, so like I said, I wanted to make this a little short video about, you know, having a personal space. Moan the Queen, can you combine ancestors and deities on the same altar? That's going right back to what I was saying. If you only have one altar, it is absolutely fine to put ancestors on your altars with deities. I mean, if you're dedicating an altar to a specific deity, then no, I wouldn't suggest doing that, because you're creating that dedicated space to that deity. But yeah, it's a one shop's one size fits all if that's what you have to use. Do not limit yourself, especially if you're starting out. Do not limit yourself when it comes to your altar. It doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to be perfect to you. You can add sigils. You can have, like, I bought a personalized altar cloth one time where it had a 5-pointed star on it. If that's what it takes for you to magically attune, then go for it. You're not going to offend anyone. I know the programming that we've gone throughout all these years has you with a Christian mindset. I went through the same thing, but then, you know, I come to realize that, you know, this has to be personal to you. It only has to make sense to you. Okay. And I usually have a lot. I have a general altar that I had. It was a big ass table. It had all kinds of oils and herbs on the bottom, and on the top it was cluttered. I mean, and that may happen at first until you have the space to get other altars. I have an altar for honey jars where I do honey jar work. I have another altar where I do my deep dark magic. I have another altar where I'm just doing strictly ancestor work, where I have hell notes on that one. So these altars only have to make sense to you. I hope, Moan, that I answered that question. If you need me to go into further detail, I can do that. But yeah, I have tarot cards that I put on another altar. So, and I have magical books on yet another altar. On this one that I have Egyptian deity, I have herbs, I have gree bags, I have a whole bunch of sigils, hell notes, pyrite, which is fool's gold. I got statues, perfume for one of the deities, and one of the deities is offset. I have a honey jar here. This is my altar for success. Let's see what else I got. I got pine cones. This altar right here that I'm talking about, I'm not going to show it, but this altar is highly personal and very cluttered. If I was to show it, you would see how cluttered it is. But I always refresh the offerings on it, like the candles and the wine. And since this is my workspace, this is where I keep this one. Peace and light, Sarah Nisut. Peace and light. Not sure if you're male or female. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely welcome, Moan the Queen. So yeah, that was my quick chat today. You can always find me on Facebook. Just type in Magick La Croix. I'm sure I'm going to come up. And also www.themagicalelitesupplyshop.com for all your witchy needs, all your spell work, books. I got whatever you need to help out with your spirituality. Okay, Sarah. Sorry, male. I apologize, brother. If you have any other questions before I sign out, you can put them here now. You're very welcome, Nataru Hair. If I'm not saying that right, please correct me. I don't like messing up people's names. And you have a good day as well. I'm available, Magick, MAGICKMAN 43 at gmail.com. I'll answer any general questions. Yes, the website is in the description box. If it's not there, I'm going to put it there. It's also in one of the tags. I'm just going to show y'all one thing. All right, I can show a couple things. This is pyrite. This is fool's gold right here. Good for attracting money. I have a gree bag that has various sigils on it and herbs on the inside. It has Jupiter sigils on it. It has the success sigil, and I have stones and herbs in this. And this is on my altar also. So I'm always working on, success. Any occultist will constantly, they don't just gain a following and stop working. They're altars, so, when you build upon the energy, I mean, your altar may end up cluttered, but you will achieve your goals. See what I'm saying? So, okay. All right. Right. Pyrite is good. Citrine is excellent. I try to have a bunch of citrine around my house. You know what I'm saying? And on my altars. They are good for money. Hell, carry them around with you too. There are certain things that you can carry around besides the gree bag. You can carry it on your person. I don't leave the house without carrying some crystals with me. For protection, I use hematite, which is iron. What I showed y'all before is the chevron amethyst. Quartz crystal. I always got quartz crystal. I wear copper, which enhances my melanin, is a good superconductor. A prosperity bowl. Yes, yes. It looks something like this. Well, I mean, it's not going to look like yours, but I have Jupiterian herbs in here. I have lodestones. See, that is very magnetic because it's not supposed to look like this, but it has some of the herbs on it because it's very attracting. Let's see what else I have here. Not only lodestone, but these herbs, sage. I have sage in here. But this is kind of a prosperity bowl, what Lisa's talking about. Every day, yes. Citrine, carry it every day. Right, right. Sorry for disappearing out of the camera, but I also have a rose quartz on my, I'm not sure even what I call this altar. I don't call it anything. I just keep it for attracting business in my workspace. This is rose quartz. Yes, it's for love, yeah, but I keep it because I have a statue of Osset or Isis on this altar. Oh, thank you, thank you. Also, I have an amethyst cluster. Amethyst cluster, hell notes. I have a talisman that I keep on this altar as well. This is also for prosperity work. Don't ask me what it means. What it says, because I don't know. It is Arabic though. This is an Arabic talisman that I keep on there. Let's see. Remember when I said I have talismans related to Jupiter? There's another one. You see the Jupiter symbol is right there. Let's see. I got numbers on here that are sacred to Jupiter. Let's see. Nikki, Nega, Naki, peace, love, and light goddess. Yeah. The way that looks is just funny to me. Sorry about that. But again, work your altars, periodically smudge them. That wasn't the only prosperity bowl I have. Here's another one where I have, this is Anise Star. Let's see. Sage. I have lodestones. Sage I keep around to cleanse the altar space because what can happen is the energies can get stagnant, or what I'm saying, can pick up bad vibrations. So smudge your altars often. I try to do it like every other day. And sage, white sage, is the best ones to keep your vibrations high. And I'm not laughing at you. Oh, that's your name. Okay. I saw when Sarah. Okay, all right, I read that wrong. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you. Nikki, Nega, Naki. Wow. Okay. It looks like Darling Nikki Grind from Prince, Nega from, the wise ones from India, and Naki looks like the end of Anunnaki. So that's why it looked funny to me. I'm like, oh, okay. I ain't mad at you. Hey, do your thing. But like I said, this was no, Autumn, man. Unfortunately, we have to reschedule that from Miss Elizabeth because she's like, she had to reschedule because she had some things going on, so we weren't able to do it today. But I promise you, within the next week or so, I will be interviewing her. I want to get Big Liz up here for an interview. Okay, so I was right. Okay, all right. Wow. Nikki Nega Naki. All right. I have never seen a name like that. So that's very unique. I like that. I really like that. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get Big Liz Conjure up here, but she had other things to do today, so we had to reschedule it. So this was next on my list to go live and talk about your altars. Also, Himalayan salt lamp, keep vibrations high. I use it in my office because this is where I'm at a lot of times. I'm here about 80% of my time. I'm in here. So I keep the vibrations high with this. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Of course, I keep my pendulum on my altar too. And I keep it charged. As you can see, it's responding yes, and I ain't even asking it anything. I keep it charged on my altar. Oh, also copper, like I said, good superconductor. I have these copper coins, and then I drop it. These copper coins. I've had this for a long time. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I don't go live often as I should, but thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So that was my little quick chat today about altars. Do not let anyone tell you you should have your altar a certain way. It has to be personal to you. Like I said, though, I do think, it's just my opinion, I do think that you should honor your ancestors first. Before you begin, if you're a beginner, honor your ancestors first. Do the ancestors ritual. I have an ancestor ritual that I did follow before I actually got started on the darker arts. It's very simple. You can do it for 7 days by honoring your ancestors. Um, if you want, just find me because I can't give it here. But find me on Facebook or email me, magickman43 at gmail.com, and I'll gladly give you the ancestor ritual. Hey, Amy, my admin is here from my Facebook group. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was actually concluding this, but what I was speaking about was, your magical altars. And what I was saying is that any alternative scent you can burn to keep your vibration high. Cedar, Cedar. You can use pine. Well, I recommend sage. That's universal and it's been used for thousands of years. Nag champa, like Amy said. Sandalwood, like Amy said. Thanks for helping me out because I'm trying to think. Yeah, sandalwood. Sandalwood is really good. It's a good high vibration scent that you can use. But I use a lot of incense. I have a lot of it. So it depends on what I'm working with. Determines what I'm going to use. I use Nag Champa. I use frankincense and myrrh. I use sandalwood, pine, cedar, sage, camphor, Camphor. If you're like trying to exercise negative spirits or negative energy, camphor is excellent for that. You can wash your altar space with creolin, Creolin, and maybe an E on the end of that. Yes, sandalwood does help. It does help a lot. Okay. Lavender. Lavender is good for love work. Any other scents can be used. I mean, they use for specific purposes, but you can use these scents to, for good vibrations also. Incense especially. But like I said, my personal preference is sage when I'm trying to like cleanse my space. I like lavender though. I love lavender. You can use myrrh, Myrrh. Myrrh. Lavender for healing. Not sure if off the top of my head, I can't say lavender is good for healing. I would have to consult one of my grimoires to actually give you an answer on that. But I'm not sure if lavender's a healing herb. Okay, I read that wrong. El Herod says, okay, thanks. Will that help with healing as well? Can you be more specific about your question, please? Well, what help with healing? Are you asking if the herbs that were mentioned will help with healing, or are you asking something in particular, something specific? Give me just 1 second. Ugh. Right. And as my admin said, Amy says, I think that paying attention after offerings or prayer to whatever you're doing will help. Let the incense smoke unfurl and carry the vibration for healing. I'm thinking. Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, all magic is based on intent. That's the most important thing, your intentions. These other things that are mentioned, even the altar, they're nothing but tools. Okay? The magic comes from within. That is a very true statement. So the better the magic is dependent upon the magician. I have never, Shantae Harris asks, have you heard of an oil called Vortex? I've never heard of that. An oil. I've never heard of Vortex. What could you explain or elaborate on what that does? Or I've never heard of that. Sandalwood, I believe, could help with healing, but standing in the smoke, in the incense smoke, and thinking about your intentions does help. So yes, that can help with healing. Abraham Hicks, never. Okay, y'all throwing out stuff I never heard of before. I'm going to look up Vortex because I've never heard of that. Like I said, though, all the oils, herbs, sigils is based on you. You can be your own altar. You yourself can be your altar. Like I said, there are occultists that I know use the astral plane for magic work. They create the altar on the astral plane. They control their dreams and they'll do rituals astrally. Now, I know that sounds far-fetched, but it does work. You bought it and made it and named it themselves. Okay. So whoever you bought that from, did it help you? Or now you got me curious. Like Vortex, I never heard of that. But get back to what I'm saying. Some of the scriptures even say about the body. Then you got to think about it. Your body contains all 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. So yes, you can use your own body as an altar. You can sit up and meditate and imagine your magic rituals. It may take some time. Depends on your visualization. Okay, I'm talking time. Visualization skills to get that going for you. But practice makes perfect in all magical practice. Okay. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. This was my little quick chat. I haven't been on here in a minute. I've had to actually reschedule the next couple of interviews I'm going to do, but Big Liz, aka Elizabeth Ruth, Ms. Elizabeth, she's going to be the next one that I'm going to interview. I look forward to that one because I respect Miss Liz and I like, the work she's doing. Welcome, Naklai, Nakleo Melton. I'm sure I butchered your name. I do apologize for that, but these shows like this, these live events can, you can rewind, you can watch them from the beginning. But what I was speaking about was altar. I want to clear this up, how you should start your altars. Start with candles, start with your notebook. I keep one of these around. Always keep your own personal book of shadows. Write down every single thing you do. Everything. Because you can go back and you can see if you messed something up or you did something wrong. You know what I mean? Besides that, you keep this as a record of what you're doing, and so you can measure the results. You can also use this for dream work. Write down your most memorable, vivid dreams. Keep a notebook around. It's your own personal book of shadows. Hey, Vicky Washington, welcome. Um, you researched the vortex oil. Let me look right now. Matter of fact, I have my, let's see, vortex oil. That looks like a diesel oil, spiritual oil. Sedona Boynton Canyon Vortex Essential Oil Blend. These oils are infused with the energy of the vortex. So what it sounds like to me from the various threads I'm seeing on it is that they use the spiritual energy of an actual vortex to meditate. That's what it looks like it says. Yes, you can. El Harad. Yes, you can be your own author. Yes, you can. Sounds far-fetched, but like I said, some people do use their own bodies. Some people use their own minds. That's what I mean by your altar. Your altar is a microcosm of the macrocosm. That's all it is. The tools that you use on your altar are nothing more than tools. When you get to that understanding that these are resources to help, then you may not use an altar at all. But my personal experience, my opinion, is that you should use an altar in the beginning. If you're just beginning, then yeah, use an altar until you become comfortable where you can let you make magic happen from your own mind. Yeah, that's what it said. It said diesel oil until I put in vortex oil and it said diesel oil. Then I put in vortex spiritual oil and these enhanced Kundalini meditations, Sedona spiritual vortexes for healing and transformation, magnetic vortexes. So yeah, it sounds like something somebody made up. Exactly, Amy. See, that's why I fucks with Amy, and she's one of my admins. She says, but what vortex are they tapping and trapping energy from? She has a point. So yeah, it's like I said, it sounds like something somebody made up. I can't vouch for any vortex oil. That's the first time I ever heard of it. They could be near ley lines and any other source of power. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I would do more research on that one. Doesn't sound like my cup of tea because I do make my own oils as well. But, you know, using a vortex for transformation, Kundalini rising, there's other stuff that you can do. Besides that, when you have to be careful when you go into the outside and go into a space that you think may be a powerful space. I mean, but there could be all kinds of bad vibrations. People could have died there. You don't know what is going on there, you know. So I just would be careful with that one. That's what I'm saying, Amy. Amy says Sedona, Arizona most definitely is. But again, we know that some things purchased can have attachments, which is why I make my own oils. I make them out of herbs and essential oils and carrier oils. So I know what's going into my tools. I know I can make Florida water if I wanted to. Right. Priscilla Simone says, Amy, you're definitely right. It sounds like some good old new age advertisement. It does. It does sound that way to me. Shantae, if you could get someone to explain what your oil's supposed to do, then I would get them to explain exactly what you need to do with that oil. Since it's a vortex oil, what exactly went into it? How do you use it? I can't answer that. I agree. It is always good to make your own oils, or you can purchase them for somebody you trust. But being a practitioner myself, um, you know, you have to, things that you tell people, you should practice yourself first. Like all the rituals that I give out or the spells that I give out to people, I have tried them first and say, you probably won't get the same experience, but this is what I did to make it work. You know what I'm saying? You have to trust your own instinct at some point. As a matter of fact, you should expect to do, go from your own gut feeling, go from your own instinct. People can tell you all day long what they experience, but ultimately that's not going to tell you what you're going to experience. You have to put in the work. The name of my group is the Magical. Let me put it right here. Yeah, absolutely, Amy. Amy is my right hand, pretty much. And yeah, advertise, do your thing. But I already put it in there. Sorry, I ain't see it till later. um, yeah, our group is a group for learning and interacting and sharing of spells and rituals. I just told someone the other day, what works for me is not going to work for you. It may not work for you, but someone asked me what experience I had with a particular grimoire, and I said I'm at the point where I can get good experiences from anything that I do, and I wasn't being braggadocious or anything like that. What I was saying to him is that I've gotten to that point. You know, I stopped relying on people a long time ago and just relied on my own experiences. So people can tell you all day what they experience, but what you have to understand is you're not going to experience the exact same thing someone else experiences. Your workings, the ones you do yourself, are going to experience, are going to manifest differently. It's not going to manifest the exact same way. And I think people fall into that trap thinking that, oh, this happened to him, so this is the result I'm going to get. No, it's not going to happen that way. My circumstances are different. My magical situation is different. I mean, it is different. So you're not going to have the exact same experiences I have. Right. Vicky Washington says I have to do my own work and see my own results. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. Experience it for yourself. People want to gauge how something is going to manifest by somebody else's experiences. And I think that's completely wrong. And you're shorting yourself by doing that. You have to put in the work. There's a lot of people, and I'm not saying anybody here, that actually trying shortcuts without actually putting in the work. Okay, they got it this way, I can get it this way. No, it doesn't work that way. Sarah Nisut. Okay. Send us a request, but I think our group is secret still. Google Society. And again, Amy, that's my nigga. Amy says, A Google society and secondhand info can wreck your life with Matt. She is absolutely right, especially Google. One client told me, well, I researched Google and they said this. I'm like, fuck Google. You're going to get a very generalized answer on Google. You can't go by that. I mean, you can, maybe write it down, say, okay, three ways this happened to other people. Let me see how it happens for myself. People are lazy. People don't want to do their own research. People don't want to put in any kind of work. You see what I'm saying? It does not work that way with Magic. You have to eventually do your own work, do your own spell work, work your altars. Yes, Vicky, absolutely. Amy, Amy, I'm not sure if they can search for the group or right, Vicky. Do real research, not Google. That's not Wikipedia is some bullshit. Be quite honest. But do your own research is all I can say. Don't believe anything I say. Research it. You know what I mean? I can sit here and talk till I'm blue in my face, which I'm not gonna do because I have a toothache. But it's my own fault. I did something stupid. But yeah, do your own research. Question everything. Question what I'm saying now. Don't just believe what I'm saying. And too often, people are followers of everybody else instead of themselves. Okay, and so with that said, Amy got y'all. For those that want to join the Magical Elite Reloaded, right, Vicky, exactly. Know for yourself and trust your magic. People don't trust themselves. That gut feeling that you have is your own instinct. That is your spirit talking to you. Follow it. It will actually never steer you wrong. That, I should have followed my first mind. Yeah, you should always follow your first mind. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to close this out. Lisa Turtle. Amy, we might want to open it up for today. And the people who were in the chat who asked, Vicky Washington, Lisa Turtle, Shantae Harris, all those, and the brother, was it Saray? Sorry, I forgot that quick. Sarah Nisut. And before I go, Priscilla says something very profound. Different people render different results. We all have different things, spiritual, planetary, and location, influencing and affecting our lives in different ways. Yay, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. That is very correct. You have different circumstances, so your experiences are going to be different. So find my admin, please, Amy Whitlock. This is a select group, private group, where it's a safe haven for those who want to ask questions and be in a safe environment and practice. And we have some great grimoires in our file section. We have a great admin team who are all advanced practitioners. So if you want to join the group, feel free to send Amy a request and she will get you in there. This has been Magick La Croix. I have enjoyed this chat with y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Find us on Facebook. Find me on Facebook. Amy got you as far as the group. And my website, www.themagicalelitesupplyshop.com. I will see y'all next time. The next time will probably be the interview with Elizabeth Ruth. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday and enjoy the rest of your week. Peace. Have a good day. Sarah, I think is only one. Look at her face. She's a black woman. Black. Melanated woman, Amy Whitlock. Amy got y'all. Y'all have a good day. Peace.